Welcome to the No Manches Que Paso podcast, a podcast no one asked for about the unfiltered ups and downs of life from the perspective of two Latinas who got familias to manage,
real shit to deal with, and are just taking it one day at a time. Our chismes are your chismes,
porque why not? You ready for another episode?
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right, so we're here with
V
and K. No, I'm Karina. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like Karina.
Okay.
Vanessa, V.
All right.
It's all good.
All right, so let's get started with our fits.
All right, I'm wearing another graphic tee.
You always wear the coolest shirts. I'm jealous.
It's Outcast. And I paired it up with my Jordan 11s that my husband got me a few years ago. You know, I don't get to wear all the shoes that I have because, you know, during the week I work from home most days and I'm not going to be wearing my shoes and I want to be comfy. So I try to take advantage and just showcase what I really want to wear on a daily basis, right? But, yeah.
All
So
right.
you'll probably see a variety of shoes on me that I've collected throughout the years.
You will see the same 3 shoes on me rotating between episodes. Actually, I think this is a new pair that I haven't showcased or shown. I don't know. I got Adidas today.
You would.
What do you mean?
Sorry. You're trying to Nike and Adidas. We just don't go together.
I know, but I needed shoes for something to go with an outfit, and this was the only thing that I found at the outlet store. So
They're nice.
I like Adidas.
I will say I just can't get behind Adidas because, you know, we're a Nike family.
okay, I don't discriminate, so
It's all good.
except for Crocs. I don't do Crocs.
What do you mean? You don't like those Crocs?
No.
Hey, I used to wear Crocs back in the day.
Okay. Okay. All right. And so I'm sporting a sweatshirt. I forget.
I love your hoodie.
I forget where it's from.
Mexico inspired.
I know. Everyone always makes a comment. And there's a few people who have similar hoodies.
Oh,
and
okay.
so when we see each other, we're like,
Yeah, but you don't know where you got it. It must have been some type of festival.
I ordered it online a long time ago.
Okay.
Maybe
Well, I love it.
Pre-pandemic, maybe.
I mean, this is more like, you know, you got the Adidas and the Mexico, you know, colors and, you know, so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more like hip hop. Hip hop.
I like your vibe, though. I
Thank
do.
you.
I do want to be like you.
Oh my God, Karina.
You're my hero.
All right. Today, what
Anyway.
are we going to talk about?
Okay, so it is spooky season. We're recording in October. And even though this is not going to come out until November, I think spooky season for me starts from October 1st and goes until mid-December. No, maybe
Wow. I would say
December
maybe
1st,
like, I was going to say, because,
yeah.
I mean, you know, December 1st,
we gotta get ready for Christmas.
holiday and stuff, so.
So yeah, I don't even think about Thanksgiving. It's spooky season for 2 months.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I'm part of a book club and we chose a scary story or a spooky book.
Okay.
And it was so good. It's called The Hacienda
Okay.
by, oh man, I forgot who wrote it. A newer author, I believe. So this book came out in 2022.
Okay.
So
recent.
The Hacienda. We'll include it in the show notes. But then we were talking about scary movies. And I recently watched The Pope's Exorcist. It's on Netflix.
Which I have not. I didn't even know it was out there. But, yeah, I actually want to. Is it it's a movie or is it a series?
No.
Okay.
It's a movie and it's creepy. It's creepy.
Are you going to
But it
watch
was good.
the new Exorcist movie?
Yeah, so I don't watch a lot of movies in theaters. I will wait
Until it
they
comes
get
out. Yeah.
Netflix so I can be in my house.
All cozy and, yeah, I get it. Speaking of spooky, do you have has anything ever happened in your life? Have you ever encountered like spirits or ghosts or
No,
weird
okay.
things?
So we were talking a book club, like real life scary things that have happened. And I was just like listening to everyone's stories, and I didn't have any stories. And I don't know why. Other than like sleep paralysis, where I felt like I was getting dragged out of
That
my own
is
body.
real. That that has happened to me a few times throughout
Yeah,
my life, and that's scary.
it's scary. I thought a demon was trying to get me.
And you know what? You never know, like
I mean, it could have been.
why that happens, and yes, that has happened to me before.
Yeah, but I wanted to ask you if you had any scary stories, like
I,
real life,
yes,
spooky.
I sure do. So I used to live in Mount Prospect, and and it's crazy that we're talking about this because I thought when I was living there, I was the only one experiencing these, I guess, ghost like experiences in my house, right? Until after like when I was in my 20s. We moved out right when I went to college when I was 18. So in my 20s, like late 20s, my brother, my mom and we were all sitting down talking, and we were talking about our old house. And then I started opening up about the experiences that I had. And then my brother started telling me what he encountered. And then my mom did too. And I was like, oh my God. Then it wasn't just me and I thought it was my mind going crazy. But there were times where I would come out of my room. And so, like, once you open the door to my room, like, it's a straight shot to the living room, it was a sofa. And I can see when I opened my door, I could see like a silhouette of a man, a top hat, a cane, and smoking. Yeah, I would see it regularly, at nighttime only. And you would think that I would be really scared, but I wasn't. I was not scared.
You were just like, oh,
Yeah,
hello.
there's Bob. I. But he looked like he was from like the early 1900s, the way he was dressed. And I would even walk up there. That's how like not afraid I was. And I would go over there and I wouldn't see anything. Obviously when you're close to that, you're like, oh, maybe I was just seeing something. But it would happen like every night when I would wake up to go to the bathroom. And I'm just like, okay, that's weird. And then there were times where I would hear like footsteps, down the stairs to the garage, or I would hear the garage door open and nobody was coming. I was home alone. Nobody was home. Nobody came upstairs. Nothing. I would just hear these noises. And my mom would be like, it's just an old house. It's just like the floorboards creaking. It's just the wind. She would just like make me, and I feel like she was trying to make herself feel good because she was probably, I know now that she was experiencing those, ghost encounters as well. But she never told me because she wanted to protect me, right? But one day I was like on my bed and I was watching TV, and you know how you feel when you're sitting on the bed and you feel somebody like come and sit down next to you? You feel like that movement.
Yeah.
That shit happened to me. I was sitting on the bed, and at the edge of my bed, I felt somebody sit on my bed. And that freaked me out. I was like, no way. And then I looked under the bed. I looked everywhere. I was like, what the hell? Like, how can you explain that?
Wait, how old were you?
I was in see, I'm like shaking right now. Like, I really am just talking about it. My leg is shaking. I was in high school. Probably like
Oh, dang.
15 or 16 years old, 16. And I also experienced that again when my husband, at the time, it was my boyfriend, but his grandmother passed away. And I'm like shaking just talking about this. And I don't know if it's because it's cold in here too, pero I am. But so she had passed away, and I feel like I'm very, and I talked about this. I feel like I'm a very spiritual person, and I know like if it's like a good spirit or a bad spirit, I feel like I have that like intuition. And I wasn't afraid or anything because I know his grandmother like loved me. I loved her. We would have conversations at her house, so or in her room because she used to live with my my husband's family. And after she passed away, I was watching TV in his room. I was by myself in the house. I think my husband was working. Everybody was out, and I felt the same thing. Somebody sit on the edge of the bed. And that's only happened twice in my life. And I was like, okay, I know that it's his grandmother here because she used to be in that room. And then she moved upstairs when she got a little bit more fragile. And so anyways, and there were times where I would smell her because she would wear Vicks all the time. So I would just like occasionally smell the Vicks. And there was another time where in the house, it was just me and my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law was in the basement. That was her room. And I heard like slow footsteps down the stairs. And I was like, oh, someone's home. Like my mother-in-law, she usually went out for breakfast. So I was like, oh, maybe she didn't go out for breakfast today. And sorry, that city traffic.
That one was loud.
That's a sign right there. Yes, it was me. But I heard the footsteps, and then I thought my sister-in-law had left, the one that was in the basement. Mm-hmm. And so she called me. No, backtrack. I called her, and I was like, hey, did you go out to eat with your mom? And she's like, no, I'm in the basement. And I was like, oh, who's in the house? And she's like, nobody, it's just me and you. I was like, did you go upstairs and come down the steps? She's like, no, you heard that too? And I was like, ah. Oh my God, I was like, so I wasn't just imagining this. She's like, I heard it too. I was like, oh my Lord. But yes, and my sister-in-law has that like, so in Spanish, like it's called like el ojo, tienes el ojo, el tercer ojo, or the third eye, right? Where you can like connect spiritually. And I know that for a fact that I have that gift, right? Obviously I can't speak to dead people. I'm not a medium or psychic or anything like that, but I feel like I have that like intuition where I can feel a presence around me. I've also encountered that when my grandmother passed away. I was working on her memorial video. I was really putting so much effort into it because my grandmother meant so much to me. She was my second mother. And so, and I was trying to be strong, and not cry while I was making this video and just putting so much effort in. And it came out amazing. I love the video. I watch it all the time. But after I finished editing that, it was kind of like I can breathe now. So it was the day before her wake, and my middle child, he was 2 years old. Yeah, 2 years old. And I heard him make a little sound in his room. And it was unlike him because it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. He made this sound, like a crying sound, but then he went back to sleep. And so I woke up and I saw a bright light in the hallway. And I stood up and I was like, my God, that's weird. All of a sudden I felt like a tightness on my chest. like if somebody was hugging me, it's like a hug. And then all I just heard was, like, I'm so proud of you. In Spanish, I can't even think of it now because I'm like shaking.
Yeah.
Estoy muy orgullosa de ti. That's what I heard in my like, not like a whisper, but it was like, I don't know, like something that came in my head. And I don't know if it was just her saying that, but I feel like I heard it in her voice. And I felt like that tightness was just her hugging me. I don't know. I know I probably sound crazy, but
No.
I strongly believe
Yeah.
that those people that are, that meant so much to us and have passed away, they're around us. They're watching us. They can see us, and we just have to look for those signs and be open-minded to those signs.
It makes me a little like jealous because my third eye must be closed, shut.
It's blind.
It's not even there. It's a little one. Pero like I've never had any experiences like that, or maybe I blocked them out, or I don't know. Like, and I don't know, but I mean that sounds so beautiful. And
That was a very touching moment, and there were times where I still like feel her presence. There was another moment where just going through a rough time in my life, and I think I was like crying in my bed or something, and every time like I have a hard time, or I think about my grandparents. It brings me some sort of comfort. And so when I was thinking about them, the fire alarm above my bed, it was like a bright white light that just flashed. And I thought it was weird. I was like, that's never happened before. And I don't know if it's my fire alarm that I have. I don't know. But it was strange. But then right when that happened, that flash, I smelled coffee. And my grandparents would always drink coffee at nighttime, decaf. But she would always have her little cafecito with her galletas, Salerno cookies. And it was like very nostalgic. It just brought me back to my childhood. And it brought me comfort. And so that is probably what made me just like soothing, like, okay, everything's going to be okay. You're going to get through this. And so, yeah, I was able to fall asleep, even though that was kind of like, it's weird, right? You're in bed, in your bedroom, your kitchen is downstairs, and then you smell this coffee, like this scent. It was a strong scent, too. So, yeah, I have those experiences.
dang, maybe that's
Often.
why I watch scary movies, so that I could feel.
But I do, and okay, there was another moment when we first moved into our townhouse. I was trying to find like a buffet table, and I was going to like this part of the town, in Tinley, where actually it was in Orland, where it's very, it's like old Orland, and it's all vintage. You can go into these like antique stores. Well, they're houses, but they sell antique furniture. So I went in there and I was like, okay, I'm going to find something. I'm going to refurbish it. It's going to be great. I walk in. I immediately feel like I'm not supposed to be there. My head starts hurting. I can't breathe. I start feeling a little bit dizzy. And I was like, I'm out of here. Whatever is here does not want me here, and I need to respect it. So I just bounced right out of there. And I don't know, there were people in there. There were people shopping. There were people looking because...
White people?
Yes. Yes, and there's a basement, and so like when I walked in, I felt like a little tightness on the chest. I couldn't really breathe, but I was like, maybe it's because I just haven't eaten. I was trying to like just push it to the side, but then I went down to the basement, and that's when I was like immediately started feeling my head, a little bit of dizziness going on, and I was like, I'm out. I don't want whatever's in here to follow me home.
Immediately, no.
Exactly.
Jeez. And we were talking about this in our book club that like places can hold like stories and can
Yeah.
hold like things and
Absolutely.
I am just like I've been a lot of places and I don't know anything. Like I've never felt that. And that's why I'm like how maybe I need to open myself up, but then at the same time
Ooh,
I'm like
I don't know.
I don't want to. Like I'm scared.
Yeah, I mean, it can be. I try not to be, because I feel like with spirits, you just have to show that you're not afraid. You're not afraid. You're like, there were times where my son, actually, I found out later that somebody died in our house, and I had no idea. The previous owner died, and I know, but I didn't know. And I try to like not think negatively or think, I try to
The guy
have
with the
good.
top hat.
No.
Oh.
My current house.
Oh, okay.
Somebody, yeah. Oh, I don't know about my old house. I mean, that was a really old house. This
Yeah.
one, the one that we're living in now, was built in the 90s.
Okay.
But yeah, somebody did die in our house, an older lady. But my son, he like, I think he might have the third eye too, because he's always like woken up from dreams and like just, he'll be like pointing at the corner or something, or he has always had that when he was younger at any house that we've been to. And so I just went in there thinking that I was like evil spirit. If you are any evil spirits in here, we do not want you. I like was just saying my little like chant or whatever, because I don't want to give it too much thought, but I also know that there are like evil spirits out there. But if you like, I guess, stand your ground and be like, I'm not afraid of you, I don't, then I feel like they're not going to come after you, because I don't know, you're strong, right? It's kind of like those spirits that, I'm going back to those horror movies like The Conjuring, or or like The Exorcist, where those people I feel like those people have like a weak soul. And maybe that's just what I think, and that's why they're able to be targeted more. Maybe that's just my theory.
Yeah, I have been watching scary movies like that since I was little. Like I watched all the Omens, like the
Oof.
Omen, like at I don't know 8, 10.
Dang, girl. And I watched It,
I did not watch it, but I watched.
and that gave me, I couldn't even walk into the bathroom by
So
myself.
I wasn't allowed to watch it, but I could watch The Exorcist.
Nombre. Which that shit happens in real life.
I know.
Have you ever like spoken to somebody that has received an exorcism?
No.
So my friend, I don't know of anyone that has experienced that. I'll look at you. Look at you.
I know. Let me get ready.
But only because of what my friend told me. So when she was little, she's Colombian. So she had and I don't know exactly who it was, but I think it was like her uncle's wife or something like that. But she saw the exorcism happen to her, and she would frequently get possessed. And she was like, nope, I'm not playing with that. I'm not. This is when she was younger. She saw the whole thing happen. She saw the woman, like her eyes like go back. That was traumatizing for a child to be in there. It was at a church that they did that. And she was like, yeah, it happens to her frequently. And I'm like, wow, why? Why is that? Like, why do certain people always get, like, I guess, possessed or have an evil spirit take over and things like that? And I honestly feel it's because of your weak soul or whatever that means, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so,
who has a weak soul and who has a strong soul? Like, what does that mean?
So actually, if you watch The Pope's Exorcist, they talk about it, like why this little boy got possessed.
Is this based on a true story?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God. What did they say that why
Because
do you...
he had like more openness because he was emotionally like going through something.
So you're like, it's weak, you're weaker.
Yeah. I wouldn't use the word weaker. You're just more vulnerable.
Oh, okay. That's a better word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Well, I think that's enough for one episode.
Yeah.
I think it's given me some stuff to think about, and I will keep watching scary movies because I can't not.
Oh, I love watching, but I watch like Halloween, all the Halloween movies.
Oh yeah.
I used to watch what is it? Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah.
That's Freddy Krueger.
See, though, I'm more of the psychological, like spirit demon scary
Exorcist.
movies as opposed to like slasher.
I think those scare me more, the exorcism and all that stuff, because that shit can really happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
All right. Well,
All right. Well, if you have ever experienced anything in your life, I'm interested to hear about it. And, because,
I'll have Vanessa read them.
oh my goodness. Because I think it's so fascinating too.
Yeah.
But also very scary too.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a wrap on the spooky episode.
Spooky episode. All right. We will catch you on the flip side.
All right.
Be out.
K out.
All right. We don't have anything to drink.
No.
Cheers.
Yes. Cheers. I got to work later, so I didn't want to drink anything.
All right.
Okay. Bye.